What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one-only NIO stock, what you should be looking after for the future. I'm also going to break down the market that NIO is in and why the moves that they're making are super brilliant for the long-term future, despite the red we may see in the next upcoming weeks for the market and NIO going forward. Now, before I break anything down about NIO, before I talk about why I'm still incredibly bullish for the long-term future, I still have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Don't take any of this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. Not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money, even if it's just $1, you deposit that money after signing up, you're going to get up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And the best part is, out of these 12 free stocks, you could always sell them for cash and use that cash to buy some NIO shares. The offer ends in 1.5 weeks. Check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So NIO is currently down about 4.32% for the day. It did take a bit of a hit, and we did kind of form this double bottom like formation right over here around that almost $19 support. We actually went a little below it as well, which is not necessarily a good sign, but we do have this big gap that actually formed right here that could actually push this thing closer to like that 19.9 range. So are we going to fill the gap first? I do think it's possible, but it doesn't really matter that much, because at the end of the day, it does look like the market is going to take another hit going forward, and this is going to affect NIO as well. We're seeing big changes in the Chinese economy that are playing a role, but the overall market, in my opinion, is playing a bigger role as of right now, because if you look at NIO's data, it is actually pretty like mid-sized cap stock. If we go down right here, look at the price comparison between SPY and NIO. We're starting to see SPY take a bit of a hit. It's starting to gap down, very similar to how NIO is now starting to drop down. And we can see this correlation right here, very similar between SPY and NIO. So let's talk about SPY just real quick, just for about a minute before I transition into the big news about NIO. Look, if you look at SPY, all right, I was telling you guys, we see this rising wedge right over here. We were going up and up and up and up, and then we had this gap that formed. We didn't fully fill it, I think, at like 429. So it is possible for this thing to push up to like 427 before getting another break to the downside, but it's not necessarily guaranteed, because we're seeing lots of choppy price action. We're coming right back down to this very key zone, which is the 420 mark. So I want to see if this thing could bounce off 420. It does look like it's going to test 420 soon. If not, this thing could continue to plummet from here, and the whole market could actually take a hit going forward. But as of right now, we want to see how it reacts, and until then, that's when we're going to get our answer. But for now, it is still looking a little bit more bearish than bullish, and this will end up affecting NIO. So I do anticipate more choppy price action and more potential downside. Now, I'm not going to give you guys my price prediction for Monday yet. I'm going to actually do that in a later video. I want to actually talk about the good side, because we can't just look at, oh, the market's crashing, the market's taking a hit. We have to look at the fundamental value of a company, and the value that doesn't just come from them alone, but from the big moves that they're making. So I want to talk about something interesting. So there are lots of these articles coming out saying NIO is sinking, this and that, what you should know. I understand that. NIO did take a bit of a hit, so have stocks all over the world. But there is something very amazing about NIO. All right. So NIO, as you guys know, they're expanding to a ton of different countries within the next couple of years. By 2025, we want to see them in 25 countries. That's their goal. And what's good about the European expansion and the expansion that we're seeing, not just across China, but all over the world, maybe even the USA first, is they're prioritizing the big EV markets. All right. And that's huge for them, because what's happening is they're seeing a trend, and the trend's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And in my honest opinion, give it time, and the trend's going to explode. That's the EV sales. And then we're going to see a big expansion to NIO, their business, their stock price. So let me show you exactly why. If you look at data right here, let me actually first show you NIO's Twitter page, then I'm going to actually get on with that. So if you look at NIO's Twitter page, NIO mentioned that doubling from last year's 2.99 million NEV sales, so that's their EVs, underscores the dramatic growth in demand for cleaner cars in China. So we're seeing this huge 6 million EVs in 2022. That's how many we're going to see sold in China. So NIO is in the center of the EV world. Huge business over there. But there's something else associated with this. It's not just China. Let's actually look at the data. Look at the global sales and global sales and sales market of electric cars from 2010 to 2021. If we look at what the data is showing from just starting right here, 2019, we had 2.2 million electric cars sold. That was 2.5% of the global market. All right, not bad. It's still pretty tiny at the time. 2020 came. Despite everything that was going on, EVs still buckled. They bucked the trend, rising to 3 million or 4.1% of the total car sales. 2021 comes. Now we saw 6.6 million global sales, representing close to 9% of the global market for all cars. So EVs went from 2% to 4% to 9%. They're growing like crazy. But the big thing I want to show you is China. This year is projected to see 6 million EV sales. Well, in 2021 alone, the EV market was actually 6.6 million. So now China alone is seeing demand that's equivalent to the entire EV market around the world from 2021, and China alone is doing it this year. That's how huge this is. Now there's 16 million EVs in the world on the road right now, and they are actually helping to avoid, many people have different opinions on this, but they are going to help limit oil consumption and CO2 emissions. I just hope that they do a more efficient job at production without, letting out as much carbon dioxide, CO2 emissions. I would really hope for that. But anyways, let's actually move forward with this. Look at the EV sales broken down by different either continents or countries, because in Europe, obviously most European countries are small, so they tend to combine all of Europe, and then we have China and the USA. So check this out. Small, 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 it's getting bigger and bigger. It's growing exponentially. In 2021, 0.7 million registrations came from the USA. We had 2.3 million registrations from Europe, and we had about a little over 3 million registrations from China alone, and 0.3 million from the rest of the world. So who are the big giants? Who are the giants? The answer is China is a giant because it has a massive population of over a billion people. Europe is another giant, but China is bigger than Europe when it comes to EV sales. It's significantly bigger, at least as of 2021. Excuse me. Even today, same thing. So what NIO is doing is they're already in China. They're growing like crazy there. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to expand it to different countries now, while it's just barely starting. And what are the two biggest markets for EVs? According to the data, number one is China. Number two would be Europe, the continent of Europe. In countries like Germany, which is where NIO is targeting, seeing them in neighboring countries, it's huge what they're doing. They're going to grow their brand. They're going to get lots of exposure. So yeah, why on earth does all of this, what does this have to do with right now? Here's my answer. For the short term, maybe this thing is going to drop. Yeah, I mentioned to you guys, I see this thing dropping even lower very soon. The whole market is probably going to take a hit. For the long term, I'm very bullish. I see this thing breaking all-time highs. That's my honest opinion. One thing that could slow it down would be tensions between the US and China, but as of right now, things haven't escalated in a way where that would be a major concern, because right now NIO is very transparent with their data, and there is no real, true, conclusive evidence of any of the malpractice that they've been accused of. So I can't really make any claim about it, but I will tell you this. This is an opportunity. Again, even if you're buying at 18, that's a good price. If it comes all the way down to like 14, 15 again, another good price. It's a good opportunity to dollar cost average, because in the long term, this is going to be a monster. Just think about the next few years. EVs are going to be huge. Lithium companies huge. I'm very, very bullish. With that said and done, thank you all so much for listening. Please have a fantastic rest of the day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. NIO to the moon, because the long-term future is bright, and peace out.